wrestler, then you had a jiu-jitsu fighter. Now it all comes back to a guy who, last time you guys fought, he gave it as good as you got. Did you expect this? I mean, was this all? When this tournament came about, did you always see that it was going to be you and Douglas in the finals, a rematch of the first fight?
Yeah, that was kind of always my impression, is that I would meet him in the finals. There was other really good guys he was fighting, but I had a feeling it was going to be him.
As you're no strangers to each other, I mean, is this weird though? Like is he still in the room? Like
Yeah.
you're doing a press conference, he's just hanging out right over there. But
No.
is that not weird because you guys are so kind of familiar with each other at this point?
Yeah, I don't get too weirded out about it. I mean, I've done a ton of these kind of things, and Douglas is a pretty laid back kind of guy, so it's not that awkward. I mean, we're competitors and professionals. I mean, this is what we do, and you get used to it after a while.
How's the $1 million that's tacked on the end of this? I mean, has that been any kind of a motivation for you throughout this whole thing, or are you just, you know, the stoic kind of Rory that we're all used to, where he's like, yeah, it's just part of the thing?
Well, I mean, $1 million is motivating, sure, but I mean, the rematch is important. I have to put on a solid performance. I have to put on my best performance for this tournament, and to kind of put a stamp on this rivalry since I lost fight. That's the most important thing for me. And yeah, the $1 million, that's really awesome. You know, what a blessing that would be, but not focused on that.
The tournament final bout was originally thought it was going to happen in September. You would ask for a little bit extra time. Do you feel like now that you're progressing through your camp that that's really going to come into play? Do you feel like that was a good move to push it off?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing my training camp through the summer. I mean, I needed some time from my injuries. I had injured my elbow in one of the fights, and you know I had to like go into the second fight with it, and a little cut. So just needed that to heal, and then plus the situation in my house. You know, just like welcoming my newborn and just getting acquainted with, you know, getting adjusted to that. So I really, it was impossible for me to show up earlier than what we scheduled.
How has the adjustment to fatherhood been going?
Well, it's my second.
Oh,
it's just adjusting to number 2 in the house, but it's awesome. You know, I'm super blessed. He's a beautiful kid. You know, super easygoing, and it's just awesome. Praise God. You know, I have a daughter and now a son, so nothing's better.
What'd you make of his performance in the semifinals? Obviously, he had a pretty impressive win back there in May.
Both his fights were very impressive. I thought he looked really good in both of them. Yeah, he's doing well.
Rory, there's a lot of people who I've talked to, whether it's Ayman Zahabi, Manny Montreal, they all say, we don't get you. We don't see this other side of you that's more charismatic, that's more down to earth. How much do you think that's affected you with the media? Because we've harped on him after a Fitch fight. Oh, he doesn't have to fire. He's going to retire. Then, all of a sudden he might have to fire back. We're not sure. Who's the real Rory MacDonald, I guess? I mean, that's the question I've always wanted to ask. And do we ever see him, or is this basically for you, you separate life from MMA, which is business?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to I feel like I'm pretty laid back in these interviews, but it's hard to be so relaxed. And I don't know, I'm not that charismatic when it comes to speaking on a microphone. I just kind of answer the questions and I get through it, you know. My passion has always been what we do in the cage. You know, it's I get to express myself more out there. That's just the way I am, you know. But as far as how I am outside of the cage, you know, I'm just like a normal guy, a family man, and that's it.
One or two more, guys.
You know, after go ahead.
Thank you. You talked about, having not the same motivation to hurt somebody. How have you sort of shifted the way you look at competition now to kind of maybe move away from that and maybe more towards, just being a martial artist?
Yeah, sure. Well, I kind of went into detail with this in a longer interview, but I'll try to keep it short. I mean, martial arts was always kind of like, how could I say it? Like almost like it was almost like helping me deal with like the inner turmoil I was going through as a youth. So martial arts was kind of a medicine for me, and you know, having that, you know, kind of anger in me and stuff like that, I was always very it was my outlet. You know, it's how I got it off my back, off my shoulders, and you know, being a new believer in Jesus Christ, it changed me. You know, it washed all that away. You know, I'm a new person. All that stuff that I went through in my as a youth, I don't suffer from it anymore. I have a new life, you know, in Christ. So I was kind of juggling in the fight against Fitch. Why I'm doing this, like I was struggling with it. A lot of thoughts were going on while I'm fighting this guy. So it took some time to just, you know, reflect and pray and, you know, realize that, you know, I'm still very passionate about martial arts. I love it. I love to train. I love the lifestyle that comes with it. I love to compete. So, you know, that's what my focus on is, competing, and also using this platform to share my testimony and my faith.
With all of these, you know, stories circulating and a lot of fans, it's basically a lot of questions about your motivation in all your fights moving forward, basically after the comments after the Fitch fight. Is that extremely frustrating to have to deal with and answer questions about continually?
I'm sure it'll fade away, but I'm used to getting repeat questions. I think I answered, are you going to fight George for about 5 years? So I got pretty used to it, you know. I mean, it is what it is. If I keep showing up to fights and winning fights, I guess that answers your question, right?
If George comes back, will you fight him?
Yeah. I'm good.
All right. Thank you, Rory.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Thank you.